Hi, I'm Adam and this is Kath.
Hey, what's up?
So this is our Film Club podcast and today we are covering Captain Marvel starring Brie Larson.
We are very excited. I saw this movie twice.
I saw this movie once. I made her see it with me again.
You didn't. I suggested it.
Yeah, she was like, hey, I really like this movie. Can I want to see it again?
Yeah, I was just like, hey, you wanna see it together? And he was like, yeah, okay.
Because she knew I had to see it again anyway so we could review it.
Yeah, plus I figured seeing it a second time would give me a chance to pay attention to bits I had missed before. I saw it on the midnight release, and then I saw it again the Tuesday after that, so within the next few days.
Yeah, so you're going to be the expert. I'm going to know nothing.
Oh yeah, expert. Like, the cat was cute in this bit, and Brie was cute in this bit, and those are the bits I noticed.
So Captain Marvel is the latest entry in a very long-running series of movies known as the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
If you haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I mean, where have you been?
Though I do think, all things considered, you don't really have to watch the other Marvel
You really don't.
Cinematic Universe movies to get this movie. Like, because it kind of does stand apart.
It really does stand out on its own. It's actually their first movie to be led by a woman.
Which I enjoyed. And there is a woman director, co-director, because there are two directors as well.
Yeah, it's directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool. Like, it's great to have, like, the first MCU movie starring a female lead, having more females to do with production, I thought was great.
Yeah, there are also a few females writing it too. It's just like, yes, girl power.
I mean, that was the main theme of the film, which is always great.
Yeah, it's great. And it also, to expand your point of not standing out from other Marvel Cinematic movies, it's kind of also a rebirth for the franchise.
Yeah.
Because we're coming to the end of the third phase of movies.
Yeah, and like it's going to be, I mean, if we're going to speculate about Endgame, a lot of characters are going to get retired. A lot of, like, we already know Chris Evans' contract ended.
And Robert Downey Jr.'s contract.
Yeah, so, like, it's going to be, like, Spider-Man now. It's going to be Captain Marvel. It's going to be more Black Panther stuff. It's going to be...
God, I hope so.
Yeah, like, which I'm totally psyched for. But, like, I get why they call it Endgame. This is the end of an era. Yeah. But they're ushering in a new time. Like, a new age for Marvel movies. Which I am excited for. And, like, Captain Marvel, I think, is one of the movies at the helm of that. Because she's going to be such an important character in Endgame, I think.
Yeah, she's hopefully a big deal. We'll get into that later.
What I want to address is how interesting the dynamic was in the movie. The way it had a kind of feel to it like a buddy cop movie.
Yes. Like,
we're not talking story just yet. We're just kind of talking about our thoughts first. But it really did. It felt like watching... like a cop movie.
Yeah, you know this kind of one where you have like a rookie cop coming in as a new day and he has a partner who knows more. This
was basically Rush Hour Superhero Edition.
Oh, I wish.
But no, it was really great. A young Fury and like Veers, or Carol Danvers, her character. Like, I really enjoyed their dynamic and their chemistry. I thought that was great.
Yeah, they really worked well together. And like, it's something we're only going to see once.
Yeah, like, they can't really do it again. Like, not to the same effectiveness, for one, and they can't execute it the same way, because then it's just going to be like, hey, like, this is just like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it's just the same movie.
Yeah, like, they want their movies to stand apart from each other.
Yeah. So, like, it's sort of a new genre idea for Marvel. It's more of a comedy level. They've been doing more funnies into their movies lately.
I have enjoyed them when they've been done really well. Like, as far as really funny MCU movies go, I don't think this one was, like, on the same level as, say, Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok was basically, like, a pure comedy movie.
Yeah, that one was very funny. So, like, Ragnarok was very funny, even with its more serious moments. And then Ant-Man
is more comedy.
Like, Ant-Man is hilarious. Ant-Man and the Wasp was very funny and very good. I liked that one.
Yeah, Ant-Man the first Ant-Man movie had a bit more serious tones there with his daughter, you know. Oh, it's a big issue. He's a divorced man. He has this different family dynamic. Ant-Man 2 just got rid of that. It was like, ugh.
Yeah, like, there was some serious moments, but it was mainly, like, the fate of this, you know, quote-unquote antagonist. So it wasn't as big of a deal as, hey, I want my family to, like, be a family. And I want to be in my daughter's life. That was, like, a lot more intense.
Yeah, that was, like,
dark, I thought there was but I thought there was an okay balance.
Yeah, there was a really good balance. In a typical buddy cop fashion, there's always this serious crime story undertone. Yeah. And that's what we really get a lot of in Captain Marvel. It starts off, we've got her in what we at the time think is her own home planet. She's training with her captain.
Yeah.
The leader of her squad. She can't sleep. She's having these horrible dreams. So she meets up with her captain. There's like this whole will they, won't they thing going on there.
I didn't really get that. I didn't feel from their relationship that there was a romantic element. I felt more like it was a mentor-mentee.
I think there was some light flirting on the subway especially.
I mean, I just felt that was banter, but I could see how you would get a romantic feel from it. But like, well, all they were really doing was sparring and like kind of nagging at each other a bit. And like, though I do see why you would make the connection, because in a lot of movies they use that to show, oh, these people like each other because they're always at each other like that.
Yeah, that's a big trope.
Like, that's, you know, it's very cliched and unnecessary.
Yeah, I personally would say that will they, won't they thing that I saw is unnecessary and unwanted.
Yeah, I wouldn't, like, had I interpreted it that way, I would have thought this is really unnecessary to the plot.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I personally, of course, I kind of got those stereotypical hints. I didn't like it, but luckily it didn't like overshadow to the point where people are actually speculating on is that there or is it not. It's not too much. It's there. It's like a slight annoyance. But like, yeah, so you get this whole dynamic. She moves on.
I thought it was interesting, the idea of the Central Intelligence taking on the appearance of someone important to you.
Yeah, I love the idea that she doesn't even know why this person's important to her because she's lost her memories.
Yeah.
She doesn't remember her past life.
Yeah, she remembers waking up on Hala. Was it Hala?
It's Hala.
Hala.
Hala at me.
Hala at your girl. But she woke up on Hala like 6 years ago with no memories, getting a blood transfusion from her commander. Yeah. Played by Jude Law. And he won't tell her who he sees, but she sees someone from her past who she doesn't remember at this point. But I thought it was really interesting because the whole idea of the Central Intelligence is that it is the ruler.
Yeah, it's their leader.
It's their leader. So I think it's interesting that they use that emotional bond to help manipulate the Kree, I guess.
And gain your trust. And it's a very obvious, like, that's emotionally, like...
Yeah. But, like, at the same time, the Kree are so indoctrinated into their leadership and the way it is that they wouldn't even question it.
Yeah, there's like, oh, look, the leader goes into the form of someone we love. That's totally
because that's
normal.
not going to like put a bias into the way I interpret their orders for me at all. Of course not. But no, I thought that was a very interesting storytelling medium. I don't know. I mean, I personally am not super familiar with the Captain Marvel comics. But I wonder, is that something in the comics as well? Or is that something they did just for the film? I would like to check that out after this episode.
Yeah, I don't love the comics. I've read a few. I kind of caught up a bit on Civil War before Civil War, the movie. But then they weren't really related. So it's just kind of like you're not getting exactly what you want. They have some movie comic tie-ins and they're also not in the main Marvel comic universe. And it's just like, it's too much for me. I just stick with the movies. That's what I know.
Yeah. We got to see a bit of the relationship between... I'm gonna just call her Veers for now, and then call her Carol later, because they kind of feel slightly like different characters, to be honest.
Yeah, they feel very different. Veers is very dedicated to her military work. She runs a squad. They're going around. They're killing the Skrulls. It's a great time.
Like she's taking orders and
basic action movie crap.
Yeah, like she trains. She takes orders. She does her work. She doesn't really question it. Like, she questions about controlling her powers, but she doesn't really question the Kree rule or following the Kree's orders. But after seeing the Central Intelligence, they go on a mission. They run into some Skrulls, which are shape-shifting aliens, who are said to be infiltrating planets and taking over. That's what the Kree have said they do. Which we do learn later is not the case. Yeah, it's not the case. The creators kind of trying to take over. It's something we already sort of knew from previous movies. The Kree were never good. Ronan is in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he goes against the Kree eventually,
But he was mostly doing what they were doing, just taking over the world one place at a time.
And I mean, I personally didn't really get any Kree stuff from the other movies except for the bit with Ronan and Guardians. Yeah. Like, I think you hear more about the Kree in, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, there's
but not
also
really
a lot
in the
of
movies.
There's a lot of Kree in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's kind of an annoying plot point, actually. It keeps coming back, and you think they're done with it.
Like, the only time I can remember hearing about the Kree is in, like, Guardians of the Galaxies. I can't actually remember, like, off the top of my head, hearing about them in the other movies.
I think they did come up on another point, but it's always been minor.
I think it was, very minor in passing. Like, it didn't really give you anything to really go on in the movies.
Yeah, it's just, I guess in my head I'm just thinking, well, the Kree were never good, you know. I only started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the last few months.
Yeah.
And you do get a lot of it. But even before then, I guess I kind of thought just, well, Ronan's a Kree and Ronan's bad. And you do see Ronan in this movie again, and he's being Ronan. He's being a jerk.
Just doing his normal, usual stuff.
He's kind of a pussy in this character, to be honest. In this movie.
But, so, I remember during their mission that they take on, she's been given by the Central Intelligence, they have to find a spy, and when they get there, she realizes it's a Skrull in disguise, and they take her prisoner. And then that's when she finds out they can fiddle with memories and, like, go in and look at stuff. So they find, in her memories, someone named Lawson, a doctor, who is the person the Central Intelligence takes the form of in Veers' mind.
Yeah.
So she's like immediately intrigued.
And then there's a whole lot of memories of her on Earth, like going to the beach or going racing with her family, her brother.
From like kid to adult, different memories. And she's like, but these aren't my memories. And he's like, wow, they've really screwed up your head. Which already casts a bit of doubt on the Kree.
Yeah.
But we don't feel like we can trust the Skrulls at this point, so we don't take their word for it or anything.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's also a cliche for movies, like, oh look, you don't have the full memory and you get a bit of it as you go.
Yeah.
But they do it really well here. It's like they don't show too much, they don't show too little.
I can understand the use of amnesia as a plot device, considering if she didn't have amnesia and she was just going through her life doing like superhero stuff, it would beg the question, well, why wasn't she around in all these other movies?
Yeah.
Like, the amnesia and then the mission she has at the end of it, that makes sense for her not to be around. But I feel like too much could have been opened up to speculation and to plot holes had she not been amnesia. Yeah. If she just gotten... Because she gets her powers in the movie, you see that happen. Yeah. And they go back and explain how she got her powers. And it would be very confusing if she just got her powers and then didn't do anything with them. Yeah. Like, because, like, where is she? That would be the main, like, why isn't she around? And even then, some people can still argue it, because if they didn't have her get a mission at the end, it'd be like, well, where was she during this? Exactly. Like, I mean, I even said earlier to you outside of here, the amount of times the Earth has been in peril. Yeah. And Fury never used the pager to talk to Captain Marvel. It's a great question to ask, because it's like, well, what does Fury consider an emergency then? Yeah, like, that's what I always wondered, like, after seeing this movie, like, the amount of times there could have been a call for requesting her help, and he never did, but he did now. That makes me wonder, like, what really counts as emergency in his head. I guess half the world suddenly dying in front of him is what counts as the emergency. I suppose. People are turning to dust and I don't know why, and I don't have time to figure it out, so let's call Carol. But yeah, no, like, there was some nice bits that I thought were, like, funny. It was very 90s, like, she crashes into a blockbuster after she escapes from the Skrulls and lands on Earth. Yeah. Oh, it's cute. I love the whole nostalgia thing. I thought it was very funny. She was like, when she was saying, like, "Are you in charge of security for this district?" I think this district. Yeah. To the security guard in his car in the parking lot, and he was like, "Well, the movie theater has its own guy." So I'm just like, "Oh, I thought that was funny." Yeah, it's a cute movie. There's those funny moments. What would you say your favorite moments or scenes are? My favoriteest moments of all in the movie. Okay, any moment with Goose in it is great automatically because it has a cute cat. Yeah, like, I just... Or is he? He's just adorable, and I just loved him, and I just thought it was great. Any moment where it was just Fury and Carol just chilling out together, chatting.
They automatically get along.
Yeah, I loved those moments.
Even though Fury low-key knows he's betraying her, he still gets along really well there.
Yeah, like, I just really enjoyed their dynamic and their chemistry, and I guess the moments where Carol would be with Monica, Marie's daughter.
Yeah.
Like, I thought those were sweet.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings on child actors. Usually you're kind of cutting them slack. Because, like, well, they were a child anyway. Or it's like...
I really liked her.
Yeah, so. She was really good. She did her job. She was cute.
I thought she did a very good job, all things considered.
It was
like, she's what, like 10?
It's so hard to be a child actor. I couldn't imagine going through that as a child myself.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so it's like, sometimes you're kind of like cutting them slack because, like, they are a child, but this time you really didn't have to. She was great. It was talent.
What were some of your favourite scenes?
Well, my favourite action scene would be the train fight.
Oh,
I just think it's very funny.
Yeah.
You know, we have the Skrull who can shapeshift into anyone they see, really, once they, like, kind of have a look at them and they get a few of their memories and all that stuff. So, a Skrull escapes onto a train. Carol, or Veers, is following him. Mm-hmm. He transforms into an old woman. Yeah. So, in the middle of, I don't know where they are. Are they in LA? Or what city is that?
Oh my gosh, you know what?
I was getting LA vibes. I was getting LA vibes, but I think I could be wrong.
I'm not sure where they landed, to be honest.
Yeah, but like, so he transforms into an old woman, so you just have Veers on the middle of a train punching an old woman, and it's just a great moment, because you're like seeing her power, because her fist does the whole glowy thing.
Yeah, with her, she calls them photon blasts, so but what is her power called? Just photon power? I guess.
I mean, that's probably just a name the Kree made up for it.
Maybe.
Because like, they don't know, they just know it comes from the light engine.
Yeah.
But then you love the crowd keep trying to hold her back and they're failing.
Yeah, because like she punches this what appears to be an old woman in the face, and everyone's just kind of like, oh shit, she did not just do that. And she tries to do it again, and they're like trying to hold her back, like, stop punching this old lady in the face.
They're also kind of amazed at how well the old woman's fighting back. Yeah, it's like, just a hilarious scene. I love the scene. It's really well directed, it's well choreographed, and the action scenes are great. Another one is when she reconnects with Maria. That
was great. I really loved their relationship. In fairness, I felt like for the most part, Carol Danvers, Veers, didn't have a huge amount of personality or presence in the film with her personality. Yeah. But considering the whole amnesia thing, I would understand her to be...
It makes sense. They're more of a blank slate.
Yeah, she's going to go from very, military and, unique to... She's going to go from being very straight-laced and, like, she's got a job, a mission to do, she's going to be focused on that, and then she's going to go to, well, why do I feel betrayed, and what's going on here, and what's all this stuff about my past coming out? So she's going to be... Phase. Yeah, well, she's going to be, like, she's going to be a bit scared, she's going to be curious, she's going to feel betrayed, and she's going to wonder what her past is, she's going to go look for that. Yeah. And then when she's going to start connecting with her past again and her memories, there's going to be a slight change in her personality again, because she's going to be getting closer to who she was before, or who she is now in spite of who she was before. So there was a slight evolution, I think, to her personality. She had more personality towards the end of the movie than she did at the beginning. Yeah, but the reconnection with Maria is so good because it's the first person from her past she sees and meets. Yeah. Because a lot of people from her past are actually... they're dead, her doctors, or she's like, she just doesn't remember them. They're still too vague in her memory. There's like some random guy from a bar or her brother. Yeah. How is she going to track down her family? But she meets Maria and they go for a reason. There's a reason Maria's first person. She was with her for the project that they were working on. Like they were friends when they were little kids as well. Like so they were friends a long time.
Yeah, so if anyone had the answers, it was going to be Maria.
Yeah.
And Maria's like, there's my friend that I thought was dead for 6 years.
Plus, she was listed as the last person to have seen her alive.
Yeah.
So that was always going to be the best place to start.
Yeah. But Maria's like, it's so emotional because Maria's like, there's my friend who I haven't seen in 6 years.
Who she thought was dead. Yeah,
or someone who looks just like her. Like, what's happening here? There's so much emotion there. And then for Carol or Veers, it's like, it's
this
complete
is a person
curiosity.
Who can tell me something about my past.
This is someone who knows more about me than I do at the moment. This is like the start to a journey to getting the answers back. It's such a good scene and it's so emotional. And then Oh, everything with her daughter after that. Like, oh, Mum doesn't let me wear your jacket anymore because I got ketchup on it. I'm like, oh.
I thought that was sweet.
That was so good. It's such a little detail. It's something you wouldn't even think of. And it's just like, it stands out. You remember it.
Just the moment where they were in the kitchen together immediately after this, where they're like, Marie and Monica are both looking at Carol like, you're crazy, there's no such things there is no such thing as aliens. And then like Fury just is like, you're absolutely right, young lady, because if there was such a thing as aliens, that would be something we would want to keep to ourselves, Carol. And I'm just like, that made me laugh so much. I was like, this is perfect.
God, Samuel L. Jackson is so good for comedy.
I love him so much. He is an actor with range.
So much range. He
like,
can be serious, he can be hilarious, because you just don't expect him. It's kind of like the captain from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He's so serious, and then every now and then just a little bit comes out, and it's like, you're completely off guard. Another favourite scene was mine when she defeated the AI.
Yeah.
Like, she just comes into the AI, she's all chill, music. Nirvana, I think, is blasting.
It's Nirvana.
Yeah, Nirvana's just blasting. It's like, nice touch, love the music, I'm funky now.
This jacket's so great, it makes me look amazing.
Great choice, like, yeah. And then Carol's just like, not having any of it.
She's just like, I'm super done with you, Central Intelligence. I just want to freaking go help the Skrulls and do my shit.
Leave me alone, Mom, I don't want to live here anymore. It's like a great moment. It's just like, I'm done with you. She of course struggles to break free of the AI at first, but then her power starts surging. She's like, you know what? You've been like dulling my powers, and I know that you're not the people who gave them to me. So you know what? I'm just gonna let my shit loose and see what happens. And I really. And there was a monitoring chip on the back, for kind of similar to the one in Thor Ragnarok that like Alexia tore.
Yeah, because that would be what kept her powers in check. Like,
and then she just fucking blows it off. It's like boom, bye. Oh, such a good scene. Yeah, so those are my favorite scenes. And it's just like, and then obviously the ending scene, I guess, is touching or whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought the ending was alright.
Do you know what I forgot my actual favorite scene is?
What?
At the start of this movie, in the very first 5 seconds, there is the most beautiful tribute to Stan Lee I have ever seen.
Yeah.
You know, at the start of Marvel movies, guys, you've all seen them. There's like all the heroes. It's a lovely montage. Instead of that, it's a montage. It's
just all Stan Lee.
It's every cameo he's ever done. And I think some of them were even from non-MCU movies.
I think so.
So like, that's a lot. Like, they had to reach out to other studios to get those scenes, and like,
which is just, I think it's just so nice.
It's so touching. And then at the end, just says, "Thank you, Stan," and it's like, oh, this movie made me cry in the first 5 seconds.
Yeah, like, I was literally watching the first time, and I did not see it coming, and it started, and I was there like weepy already. And so the second time I watched it, when I was with Adam, it started, and I was just looking at him like, take it in, Adam. Take in the Stan Lee memorial. Just take it all in.
I had heard there was going to be a tribute. I just didn't know when or what it would be. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my god, that's so good. I hope they keep it going for the whole year.
I mean, maybe?
Because last year they kind of did where it was their 10-year anniversary, and I said Marvel Studios, but the I and the O were 10, and they did that for the entire year.
Yeah.
So I hope they keep the Stan Lee thing for an entire year. He deserves a decade of that tribute, to be honest.
He put so much into Marvel. Just so much. He did so much.
I'm going to be so upset in the first movie doesn't have a cameo from him.
Yeah. I can't imagine what they'll do instead.
It's going to be so weird. And it's because we don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know which ones he was able to film before he died. Like, Spider-Man Far From Home might have a cameo.
Maybe.
Endgame, I'm pretty sure it does, because it was filmed at the same time as Infinity War.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't even know if there would be one in Captain Marvel, and I'm so happy there was. Because I'm just not ready for that loss.
No.
So, yeah, that was my real favourite scene.
That was...
But, like, I don't think that has anything to do with the movie. I don't think the directors even decided. I think that was a Marvel Studios decision.
Probably, but still, I'm happy it was there. Like, it was a very happy surprise.
Yeah. It was a lovely little surprise at the start of the movie.
Getting back to the story, we left off around Carol going to see Marie.
Yeah.
With Fury, because she realizes that she was your one from the past who knew Lawson.
You know, you're one from the past who knew this and that about your life.
But so I thought that was interesting. Then Marie basically getting recruited into like the gang.
I'm kind of not wanting to be recruited. I got
like,
a
she was
kid.
Like,
I got a life here.
Like, I got a kid to take care of. I can't be going into space dealing with your shit. And then Monica's like, think about the example you're setting for your daughter. Would you walk away from this opportunity just to sit down and watch Fresh Prince with me? And I'm just like, Monica is like
woke.
Not even that. She's like manipulative, but like she for
good
reasons.
Every kid learns how to manipulate their parents.
No, but like she's very effectively manipulative.
Yeah.
Like, some people try and they're like, Mom, do this, or I'm going to hold my breath until I pass out. And Monica's just like, just think, do you want me to grow up to be a strong woman?
Here's a glimpse into Kath's childhood.
Do.
Kat was one of those hold your breath kids, apparently.
Shut up. I would never. I was just an example of things I have heard. Shut up.
Oh, what a story, though.
What I really loved, though, acting wise as well, like, just like one of my favorite characters was Talos.
Yeah.
The leader of the Skrulls that you would interact with most in this movie, like the division of Skrulls that you see most often. Talos was their leader, and I just loved his characters so much.
Yeah, he's lovely. He's like, so you know all that stuff you thought you knew about me? Not true.
I mean, just the moment where they're at Marie's house and they turn around and Talos is there and he's like, oh, were you not expecting me? Well, I have some stuff I need to talk to you about. And he takes like a massive slurp from like a big gulp or something. Like some sort of milkshake, just a really big, slow slurp. He sipped
the tea. It's like, I've got tea for you, sis.
I just thought that was so funny. And then, like, the cat comes out, Goose comes out, and he starts freaking out.
That was another great thing about this movie, the build-up for Goose.
The build-up for Goose.
It's so good.
Amazing.
You keep seeing him, you don't understand why everyone's scared of him, and then you finally learn.
I mean, I did think he was just a cat.
I genuinely thought they might just be scared of cats as a race, and that's the thing.
I thought so, because I thought, like, maybe...
Because, like, same.
I figured it was just a cat, and then, like, on their own home planet or something, there was another thing, like the Flurkin, that looked like a cat, but wasn't.
Or maybe cats are just more jerks in their planet.
Maybe, but, like, Goose is straight up a freaking tentacle-mouthed cat monster who's super cute and a very good boy.
Yeah, Nick Fury never really forgives him after finding out what he is, though.
I mean, he didn't seem to be holding a grudge. He was letting him sleep on a bed in his office.
He still gave him very dirty looks. Like, oh, look,
very
you're
dirty
so
look.
cute.
He only has one eye.
You're so cute. But I hate you, and you took my eye. I mean, that's the regular human attitude to cats. I hate you, but I love you.
But like, no, just Talos as a character and the comedy he could insert into the scenes he was in, I thought was really great. Like,
and he also had range, because you see how much he cares about his family later on in the movie.
Yeah, I thought that was nice.
Because he's the leader of the people.
Yeah, like, he's literally just like, we're refugees and we're trying to find a place to, like, just live and be free. We're
Whoa,
not trying
don't get political now with the refugee word. People might think this...
You mean the word they use in the movie?
You think this movie might have a political message, guys.
What movie doesn't, though?
It's just mad. People got so mad at Brie Larson when she was doing interviews, got political. Or she, like...
Because she said she wanted to be interviewed by more women of colour?
Not just that, she did talk about politics. And people were like, oh, look at Brie Larson ruining the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, I've heard about this. People are like, Brie Larson is being so feminist in her interviews. Like, there's nothing... It's not called for. Like, what's she doing? This is, like, weird and unnecessary. I'm just like...
And this is the most feminist movie I've ever watched, and I loved it.
No, here's the thing. Oh, no. Brie Larson, a feminist, is being a feminist. Ideas. Like, oh, no. Like, she's... What, like... I don't know. I just think that's stupid. Don't, so like, someone who is a feminist and who is active in, like, feminism is gonna be feminist and talk about feminist issues.
Yeah, when they're interviewing her, yes, they're gonna talk about the movie, but they're also trying to interview the actress.
Yeah, like, yeah, the movie, but also what about you? It's like when I went to see the movie, midnight release, with, like, my boyfriend and his friends, and I remember one of them was, like, saying in passing, this movie will be really good for, you know, like, your people. I'm like, women? Do you mean women? And, like, yeah. I was laughing it off. I didn't, like, he wasn't being, like, mean or anything. He was just saying, like, oh, you know, your lot are gonna like this. And I was like, girls? Do you mean girls are gonna like this movie?
Yeah, and I don't even think that's the point of it. They just want to make a good movie that men are going to watch. They're gonna bitch
I mean, more men went to see the movie than women did when I went to the midnight screening. There was a lot more men there than women.
What? Here's a question for you. You went to the midnight screening. I didn't. I've been to midnight screenings at that cinema before. It's usually full. Was it full?
It was... I didn't have a look around the entire cinema, but no, it wasn't. I would not say it was full.
That's something I noticed too, and I feel like that may just be the country we're in.
Here's the thing. There was a lot of backlash against this movie to begin with, because weren't people, like, preemptively giving it low ratings?
Yes, they were. That happens for...
And, like, Rotten Tomatoes or something?
Like, here's the thing. That happened for Ghostbusters 3, and Ghostbusters 3 was a bad movie. End of story, not a good movie.
Yeah, I suppose. partly it's because of the country. This is just kind of the way it is. Unless it's a massive, massive movie, it's probably not going to be completely packed for the midnight screening.
Yeah, even I was considering going to the midnight screening. In the end, I just didn't have the money. But when I was looking at ticket prices and like options, almost all the cinema was green to have tickets available, and it was like only a couple of days before the movie came out.
Yeah, and like
and that doesn't happen.
Yeah, usually that wouldn't be the case. Like it wasn't the case with Ant-Man and the Wasp for sure.
Yeah, or
it wasn't the case with Guardians.
Yeah, like some of their like, and even then, Guardians wasn't a big movie when it first came out. People didn't really know what it was, and it was still huge because it was Marvel.
Yeah.
And yeah, Captain Marvel. Oh, such a good movie. I would say better than Guardians 1. Not better than Guardians 2.
No.
I do have a lot of issues with Guardians 2, but I still hold it in such a high respect.
I still very much enjoyed it.
Just for emotions, it gave me so many feels.
Yeah.
But and yeah, I think it's better than Guardians 1, and yet Guardians 1 had more views than cinema. It's just not fair. I don't think that's right. I think that is a bias. Maybe it's just in our country. Ireland has had issues with certain things like this in the past.
I feel like, from what I've seen, there's always a lot of guys who are fans who would show up to the midnight screenings as opposed to the girl fans. Because, I mean, I'm not trying to be, like, sexist or anything, but, like, anytime I've gone to midnight screenings and I ask, for the most part, the girls are there with, like, their boyfriends or their brothers or their friends who are fans. And they're not really, like, they're there kind of just for the fun of it. They're not really there because they're, like...
invested.
Very invested, yeah. But, I mean, I would love to see that change. And I'm not saying that there aren't loads of female fans, like... in the world. I just feel like here in Ireland, in our town that we live in, like specifically, not even like in the country, just in this town, there's just a lot more of a majority of lad fans than there would be of girls who are fans.
And even then, I'm just thinking, like, those same lads, why didn't they bring their girlfriends this time? Or why didn't they go? If they're not bringing their girlfriends, they probably didn't go either.
I mean, it could have to do with the night that it was on. It could have to do with it was hard to figure out when exactly this one was, because usually it says, you know, midnight. It was a midnight screening, but it's usually at like 12:05 or something.
Actually,
so you can clearly see.
Was it on Friday night or Thursday night?
There's technically the Thursday night.
Right. Sweet. Well, it's midnight on Thursday.
Technically the Friday morning.
Yeah.
So usually it's like 12:05, so you know exactly what day it is because it's into the day.
Yeah, because this is something I'm trying to figure out, because I want to go meet friends to see Endgame, and I'm still trying to figure out what day I have to go to do this.
Yeah. Because
I'm just like, is it out on the Thursday? Is that on the Friday? I'm not sure. I think this one is actually Friday night.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do think so for Endgame. I'm not 100% sure. It's just such a confusing thing with midnight releases. But we get it before America.
Yeah, we usually do, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't with this one. We got the same day.
That's fair.
But, like, yeah, for Endgame, the biggest movie of all time, we're going to know what happened before you Americans. I'm going to just be posting spoilers everywhere.
No.
Very different personalities here.
You've literally spoiled, like, so many things on me on accident because you're like, why aren't you caught up yet? Like, yeah. I'm like, I will. Just leave me alone.
I mean, it was from a good few weeks ago.
There have been times where you're like, oh, spoiler alert if you don't want to know. And then in the same sentence, you text me the spoilers and it's all in lowercase, so I don't even realize there's a spoiler coming until it's too late and I've read it. You have done that to me before and it's so mean.
Fair enough. Someone, I can't remember what movie it was, but you spoiled something for me.
Which movie?
I don't know. No, I'm not sure what movie, but actually there was an anime I was watching. You didn't spoil for me, my friend Shanna did. It was called Black Butler, and I was saying, oh yeah, I'm watching this anime, and she's
yeah, there's like a demon dude.
Yeah, and she just goes, oh, don't you hate how in season 2 someone's dead and it just ruined the entire show? And I was like, oh, thanks for that. I'm on season 1, episode 5. And it made me not want to finish the show. I just didn't finish the show for ages after that. I was like, okay, I'm done.
Fair enough.
So yeah, so are there any parts of the story you didn't like?
I mean, I think there are particular scenes where I don't think there was any actual scene in the movie I straight up didn't like. Yeah. I just liked them less than I liked others, but I still liked them. There isn't like a moment in the movie I can just be like, oh, I hate that part, because there isn't. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole movie.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole movie too. I don't think there was anything I didn't like.
Yeah, like, I just think there were parts where, like, other parts stood out more to me, but no, I thoroughly enjoyed the whole movie.
So if you haven't listened to our previous episode of Film Club, we have a rating system. We like to rate a film on 5 subjects out of 10.
Yeah, we like to talk about the story, and then we like to talk about the acting in the movie. Cinematography is like a big point. Another point is whether or not we found it to be true to its marketing. So like how the trailers portrayed what the movie would be like and stuff like that. You know, like,
or even if we liked the marketing, if we felt like it wasn't good, it didn't do the movie justice. Maybe.
For example, like The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Disney. The trailer was very happy-go-lucky and fun, and then the movie had a really big tone problem where it was very dark and fucked up.
So and there are still parents today who don't want to show their kids The Hunchback of Notre Dame now that they have seen it.
So, like, the marketing was very much, like, tricking the audience into going to see this dark movie, whereas we like to rate it on whether or not the trailers and the marketing was true to how the movie was actually going to be.
Yeah, and then we like to mark it on individuality, whether it stands out in the huge sea of movies we have at the moment.
Yeah, like, individuality is, like, a big point for us to rate something on.
And it's something Marvel movies tend to not do that well on, to be honest.
But, yeah, I want to ask, as far as story goes, out of 10, what would you think it is?
I would give it a 9.
I would give it a 7.
Really?
Yeah. But, like...
Well, we're going to explain our points anyway and why.
Yeah. Like, why would you give it a 9?
I think there was nothing I didn't like. There were a few cliches.
Yes.
But there are some cliches that you haven't seen in a while. You're like coming back to an old friend. It's like the buddy cop cliche.
Yeah.
It's just like... Or the cliche with the amnesia. It's like you're coming back to an old friend. It's like I haven't seen this in a while. It's interesting. It's different. It's in a sci-fi movie. It's just great. I'm here for it. And there was no story parts I didn't like. I found it overall quite emotional. I would say the reason it loses its last point is because the ending feels like it was rushed to not ask questions.
Yeah, I didn't. While I enjoyed the movie and the ending I thought was fine, it did also have a urgency to it. Like, we need to wrap this up now so we can explain why she's not there.
Yeah, because if they didn't have, at the end, that Carol goes off with them,
there would be...
with the scroll.
Yeah.
It would be like, well, why wasn't she here during this movie or this movie?
Yeah, like, has she been living in a cave?
Like, and yeah, that's a hole the Marvel Universe has gotten itself into. But I also feel like they had a different ending plan and it was changed at the last second.
Yeah.
It's just this feeling I got, and that's why I take 1 point away. But you are evil and you just hate women. So why are you giving it a 7 out of 10?
Okay, so... While I think that Captain Marvel is great for female representation, considering it's the first MCU movie with a female lead.
Yeah.
And while I really enjoyed the dynamic between the cast, and it's just too many things just felt unnecessary, and too many things felt fine but not great. Yeah. Like, while amnesia is a good plot device on occasion, it's also overused, and I understood it in the context of the story that was there, but I felt like there could have been more. There could have been a different story they could have taken. I felt like the whole, my commander, we're actually using me and I've been betrayed. That's also like a cliche.
Been done, yeah.
That's been done. It's been done better by other movies, in my opinion.
It's been done better by video games, to be honest.
Yeah, like, for sure. And like, while I really enjoyed the acting and I really enjoyed the movie itself, the experience, and what it means for the future of the MCU, I just felt like, out of other MCU movies I've seen, this one didn't like resonate with me as much. Yeah. Like, I freaking adored Ant-Man and the Wasp, and like,
yes, and that's a movie I really did not like.
Yeah, and like, it just, and it just kind of, it didn't hit me in the same way. Like, am I super proud of this female representation? And like,
which is also a big theme in the movie.
Yeah, it is. And like, girl power, it's great, and like standing up for yourself and like overcoming adversity and like your humanity being the thing that makes you stronger than your enemy. That was all great and everything. It just, I felt like other movies had done it better. Yeah.
So what happens when we don't agree on a number is we split right between the middle. So I gave it a 9, Kat gave it a 7, so we're going to give it an 8 overall together.
Yeah.
Which is still really high.
It's still high,
Kat doesn't look that happy about it.
No, it's still high. I didn't want it to be low. I'm just saying I just didn't feel like it deserved a 9.
Yeah. So we've already talked about acting quite a lot during the story section, so I guess we can move right into rating it, don't you think?
I actually want to touch on some points.
Yeah.
I feel like performance-wise, Jude Law, and this isn't like a personal grudge against Jude Law, I just feel like he could have been anyone, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like he was in the movie just for his name and not really for who he was and what he brought to a character.
Yeah, everyone else, I guess, I would say, really fell into their character.
Yeah, I feel like everyone else's characters had a lot more involved.
But with Jude Law, you're just kind of like, oh look, it's Jude Law on the screen.
Pretty much.
Wow, I didn't know Captain Marvel's old mentor was Jude Law. But yeah, there were so many strong characters.
There were.
Brie Larson is great as Captain Marvel. Like, it's a challenge to play a blank slate for so long in a movie.
Yeah, like to literally evolve on screen.
Yeah, to not have personality for a while, that can't be easy.
Yeah.
And she did it well. You get a lot of personality at the end. I'm hoping, against all hope, that there'll be tons of personality from her in Endgame. And
I really liked Lashana Lynch's performance as Marie.
Oh, yes.
Because, like, I really enjoyed her character. I enjoyed the chemistry she had with Carol. And, like, I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter, like, saying, like, they ship Marie and Carol. And, like, if it's just a really close friendship, like sisters, you know, cool. And if there was, like, a romantic relationship there, also cool. I don't feel like either way they really need to, like... If it is a romantic relationship, that's cool, and I'd like to see that addressed in, like, a later film. And if it wasn't, I also don't feel like they gotta force it, like, for, like, you know, to force in this relationship when that's not what they were intending. Like,
it's not something that I even felt being hinted at, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't really feel a romantic vibe between them personally. I just felt like, you know, really close friends, like, you know, women supporting women.
Yeah, I feel like people on the internet are just gonna ship whatever they want.
I mean, I think when they see two beautiful and talented women, they kind of just want to smush them together. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm guilty of that too. Like, the amount of times I've shoved, like, this actor and this actor in my mind together, you know, countless times. But, like, just in this instance, I thought that their chemistry as friends, as, like, two partners in crime, two people who really understood and helped each other out, like Carol helping with, like, Monica as a kid, I thought that was great.
Yeah. One actress I want to call out is Gemma Chan, who played Minerva, who was a sniper on the squad.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a scene later on in the movie, like, she doesn't have a lot of personality. She's a minor character. It's not, you don't see a lot of her. She's kind of just a stereotypical badass soldier woman.
And then kind really of like just an antagonist.
Really good sniper. And then at the end of the movie, she's just kind of playing the role of bitchy woman.
Yeah, she kind of just be like, oh, like, you knew the whole time that, like, I was actually human? Is this why we never hung out? And then her answer is just like, nah, I just don't like you. And I'm like, okay.
It's like, why?
You did bring up earlier, before we started the episode, how you thought it was very unnecessary for the squad that Carol was a part of. I think it was like a 5-person squad. Yeah. So her, the leader, and then 3 other people, so Minerva, and then these 2 other guys.
Yeah. I kind of thought they all looked very interesting and diverse and would have had cool stories behind them.
Like, I thought that their makeup design was very interesting, and I loved their outfits. But I just thought...
And I thought they were really good actors, and that's my problem. They had all this talent here, and they just kind of did nothing. But, like, Minerva got a throwaway line. Yeah, and there was this so unnecessary scene trying to insert, like, comedy that I just felt like was unnecessary, where they're talking about how it's unnerving to be simmed by a Skrull and look at your own face and know it's your enemy. And then Carol's like, well, it's only because you're so bad looking. And everyone else is like, oh, I think you're very handsome. And the guy's like, oh, I laugh on the inside, that's why I'm not laughing right now. And I'm just kind of like, this is such an unnecessary exchange that you could just ignore. Yeah, it was kind of like, they all seem like they could have been really interesting stuff, and that's what they give them. Just loads of throwaway bad lines. I just kind of feel disappointed by it. I feel like if more time had been devoted to building the characters of the squad, the Kree squad, if more time had been devoted to that instead of, like, unnecessary parts in other parts of the film, maybe it would have made
more of an impact when
I think
like,
it would have been such a good impact when they were fighting against her.
Like, because it would have been like, oh, these are the people you've bonded with, and now you're fighting with them. For 6 years. Yeah, and like all we really got was like she felt like an outsider, and they didn't really accept her. Yeah. That's all that came across.
But if they felt like an outsider and didn't really accept her, I don't think Carol would have fought with them for 6 years. I think she might have wanted a different squad or something. You know, it's just like I just think that falls apart a bit, and I think it's a shame to just waste good actors.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't like Jude Law. I really didn't like the lines they gave Gemma Chan. Just because I think
some of the lines I felt were like,
they had her as a badass woman for the whole movie, and she's like, well, actually, I'm just a bitch.
Yeah.
Like, okay. And then Annette Bening as Marvell, I liked.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she's like a mom. Her. I loved her. I just felt warm whenever I saw her.
She was our space mom.
Yeah, it was just so nice. There was Ben Mendelsohn as Talos.
Ah, he was great. No, Ben was fantastic. Like when he was the character called the director?
His name was Keller. I think he was director
Keller. Yeah. So he was basically Fury's boss, and then when he had all his Skrull makeup on for his role as like Talos, like that was great too. And I remember I really enjoyed his performance.
I liked a lot of the Skrull because they had to play multiple characters. They had to play an old woman. They had to play a random surfer dude. They had to play themselves, their actual Skrull character. It's just like a fun thing.
Yeah, like I know, I thought that was great, and like, just
or like one had to play Coulson at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, they just had the actor for Coulson play Coulson. Like that's not that hard.
Yeah,
but then,
and then
Coulson
just, like, fight with him.
Coulson had to then pretend to fuck up and be a Skrull. So
yeah.
that's like a fun little acting dynamic. I just think there was a lot of talent in this movie.
When you see, I just thought there was a lot of range given to us through Talos because you got to see him being like funny, and you got to see him being, quote unquote menacing, and you got to see him being really tender and open with his family, and when he gets to meet his daughter for the first time,
it's like, oh my god,
like actually intense.
Yeah,
like,
it's like, wow, what a beautiful moment.
Like, out of acting, I would legit give it a 10. I would, because while I don't really enjoy Jude Law's performance in it,
I'm not gonna let Jude Law get me down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 10 too. I think they wasted their actors' potential in some moments, but I think what the actors did with what they were given was so good that they deserve a 10 for it. I think it's the movie's fault that the potential was wasted, not the actors' fault.
Yes, I agree.
So yeah, so 10 for actors. Of course, now we get to move on to cinematography. Oh, what a movie.
It was the way... I really enjoyed how it was shot. But before we even get into cinematography, one major thing I just want to shout out right now, because this meant a lot to me. Carol Danvers' outfit, her uniform, was great.
Yeah.
But like, because it was literally just a soldier's uniform.
Yeah, it wasn't any different to the men's uniform. It didn't show more skin. It wasn't the Wonder Woman bikini.
Exactly. It wasn't clingy. It wasn't shaped different so you could see that she had boobs underneath.
Like it was form-fitting, but so were the men.
Yeah, like it was form-fitting just for like tactical maneuvering.
Yeah, it's because you don't want fucking big, long, wavy bits getting in your way.
Like she wasn't wearing leggings that like clung to every curve of her body, and she wasn't wearing like a top that you could see had like armor plates that looked like boobs on it.
And even when she got out of that into human clothes, she was wearing a shirt and a t-shirt, or like a jacket and a t-shirt.
Yeah, she was just wearing some comfortable clothes.
Yeah.
She wasn't wearing like, I don't know, like just, she wasn't being pushed into like clothes that wouldn't have made sense for the occasion. Like, while I did really enjoy the movie Wonder Woman, I still, like, and while... like, yeah, her outfit's her outfit. It's not suddenly going to change because of, like, you don't have to make it PC or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
It is an iconic outfit, of course.
Yeah, like, it's an iconic outfit. But it was nice to see that this was a soldier dressed as a soldier. And they didn't try and change that or take away from it. Because, while I really like the Black Widow,
her outfit is
is a very sexy outfit. Yeah. Like, that's part of the point.
That's just Scarlett Johansson.
I mean, anyway. Okay, ScarJo is a beautiful, voluptuous, gorgeous woman. So pretty much you could put her in anything and she'll still look sexy, whatever. But it's just a case of, I like that her outfit wasn't sexualized.
Yeah. Plus, I feel like in the earlier movies, and it's changed now, Scarlett Johansson does wear more normal clothes now.
Yeah.
In the earlier movies, she was almost always in her combat gear. For no reason. There's no combat. She's just wearing it.
Just always wearing this skin-tight suit.
As you do.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, for and then even when she goes into her super suit. It doesn't change. They just change the colours of her armour. They're not like, well, here's your new sexy Captain Marvel outfit.
Yeah, no, they just changed the colours. And, like, I liked the way they chose to do that.
And Brie is stunning in them.
She looks fantastic.
She's just amazing. What a person.
I know.
But yeah, so, like, and even then, that does go into cinematography, because there's set design, there's outfits, there's editing even, there's, like, shot composition, there's your locations.
I didn't like every fight scene.
Yeah.
Some of the fight scenes I thought were very jump cutty, and I didn't think flowed as well as other fight scenes we've seen from the MCU.
Yeah. My biggest issue is actually some of the special effects weren't on par.
That is true.
There's a scene earlier on in the movie where they're in their spaceship, they're flying off, they go through a cloud.
Yeah.
But the cloud kind of has no reaction.
Yeah, it doesn't really move.
It kind of just looks like the cloud was one 2D thing and they just threw it in one go.
And at the very end of the movie, when you see Carol, like, she's up in space and she's turning around and flying off, it looks very fake. And while obviously it's not going to look super real, it's a woman in space with no spacesuit on flying around, it looked very cartoony.
Yeah. When they show her use a lot of power to do sort of things, and you see a lot of effects for it, like because her photon blast or whatever, they create light and it's like a big effect. But then later, and when she just makes a big fucking light show to scare away Ronan.
Yeah.
And it's like that's none of her power. But then later on, she's moving this entire ship, and there's
like
no big light show.
There's like, it looks like she's putting out more energy doing smaller tasks, and she's putting out less energy when she's actually doing the big, when like, she fuck moved off tasks.
The ship, it looked like she was creating a light trail behind her, and then she was dragging the ship in Photoshop.
Yeah. Like
just moving it on the screen. It did not look that good. And it bothered me. I called out in the cinema with you. I was like, that doesn't look that great. Like she's just been showing so many cool effects for her power earlier in the movie, and then the biggest end scene, and this is why I think the end scene was rushed. It's just like the biggest end scene, and there's like, that's what you get like, whew, off she goes. Then it's like, yeah, whatever, sure. But some of the shots are so good. I love how so many you see in her past that she got knocked down, she got back up again.
That so sequence, I loved it.
Because they hint at it through the whole thing, because they keep showing her falling down multiple times at different moments. And then there's a sequence where they show every time she falls down, and then immediately, including when her ship blows up with the doctor in it.
Yes.
But they show her get up, and then they show every other time. Before they show her get up, they show every other time she got up. And it's like, yes, because she can get up. She can do this. She just has to get better. She has to learn.
Exactly, like she makes her mistakes, she falls, and then she gets back up again. And I thought that was so
powerful.
That was a powerful scene. And it was all because they were saying, you're just a human. And she's like, yeah, I am a human.
And that took a lot of cinematography, because he had to get the child actress who was playing her
to
stand in a similar shot composition and have them get up and then do it again with her. And it's just like, that's not easy.
Yeah, like, because it was like, what, 3 different... Was it 2?
3 or 4?
I think it was 3 different child actresses.
Yes.
Like a really young one, and then like a more middle-aged one, and then a slightly older one. And then it was just Brie.
Yeah. And it's just like, yes, because there's even like the one where it's just her, and she's younger-ish, but that's just a special effect because it's her doing her army training.
Yeah.
And she falls there, and it's just Brie Larson, but like, it's Brie Larson again.
And I liked how in that part... It was her, and she was in her combat gear, and she had her hair pulled like right back in a really tight ponytail, like no makeup on, and I was just like, yes, because that is what she would look like. She wasn't made a pretty soldier, she was just a soldier, and I was like, yes, this is what I want to see, real representation, because I've lived on an army barracks, so like I've been around women in the army, and they look like they mean business. Like, are they beautiful? Of course, but like it's just them, just being themselves, like in their gear, doing shit, getting it done.
And such a good message that she's not perfect and she's going to make mistakes and she has to learn.
Yeah.
Because I think people are expecting perfection from women, and it's like, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
No one's perfect. I think
that they're expecting a big Deus Ex Machina in Endgame from her as well, and I think it's nice to. I don't think so either, but I think that was what some of the expectations were when she was announced, because she's so powerful that she'll be able to like go in there and just like bitch slap Thanos and everything's fixed.
And that would be a horrible movie.
I think what's going to happen with Endgame is her character is going to make mistakes, or at the very least falter, maybe lose some confidence, and then get back in the game and then work as a team to fix everything. Like, it's not going to be all on her shoulders.
She's been gone from Earth for like 30 years. Well, no, 25 years.
Yeah, about that.
Because it's set in 1995, it's 2019. I'm guessing Endgame's set in 2019. Infinity War set in 2018.
I'd say it is, because I'm pretty sure they mention it's been a year in like the trailer or something.
They at least say time has passed. You see that.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing it's 2019, so it's been like 25-ish years. It's a long time. She has to get used to this. She's been doing other things. This is different. She's probably going to expect more from humans because maybe she's met more powerful aliens who are going to know more, and that's going to be an issue. I have strong feelings she'll be a big part of Endgame, but I don't think it's going to be like, oh, the be-all and end-all of Endgame is Captain Marvel.
No.
Like, no one would like that. It'd be a bad movie. We're going to be talking about Endgame next week.
Yeah, we will be talking about Endgame.
Next month.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so for cinematography, I love all the shots. The city they're in is beautiful. The alien city, Hollow, whatever it is. Holla. Is
Holla at your girl.
Holla at your girl is a great city. It's stunning. That's all special effects, of course.
Oh, yeah. Like, they didn't build it.
That's why I think... It's another reason the end scene was so rushed. It's like, that city could not have been easy to do, and it's flawless, except for that one cloud scene that still bothers me. But other than that, it's flawless, but then they couldn't do something like crazy cool for the end. Like, I don't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I really enjoyed the cinematography of the movie. Like, some of the fight scenes, I weren't so happy with how they were shot, and some of the special effects, they weren't, like, amazing. But for the most part, just the scenes that were done well were done really well.
Yeah, like there's really cute moments where she crashed into a building and it pans down and you see the building's a Blockbuster, and that's how you know it's set well in the past because Blockbuster's not been a thing for it. Yeah. Or when she's in a phone booth contacting her home planet using her special sci-fi abilities. She got some wires. She goes to Radio Shack to do that. She just gets some shit from Radio Shack. It's like, now I can call outer space. But there's a knock at the window and then it pans quick when you see Nick Fury. It's like, hi, how are you?
I'm pretty sure it was Ben Davis who was in charge of cinematography for the movie, and like, just like, you know, shout out to Ben Davis for like being in charge of that and doing his job. Yeah,
because I think I would give cinematography, I have to take a point off because of the special effects.
I would also want to take a point off. I would kind of rate it again at like a 7. Yeah,
I'm giving it a 9 again.
You're 9 again?
Yeah. I don't know. I just love the scenes. I don't have issues with choppy editing, or like, not that I don't have an issue with like really quick cuts into fight scenes.
Yeah.
I like it. But when you see something like Bohemian Rhapsody where there's a cut every second
that
and a half,
was painful.
That's
the amount
painful.
of cuts in Bohemian Rhapsody was painful.
If we did Bohemian Rhapsody, we're not going to because I don't want to. But we're not going to. I just don't have an interest in seeing that movie. But if we were, like, it would get so low in cinematography just for shit like that. Yeah. That's, like, not good editing. And then it was nominated for Best Editing. Like, fuck off. No, it was not. It did not deserve it. So, yeah, we're going to together give it an 8.
That's another 8, yes. Another point we need to talk about, I think this won't actually take very long. It's just whether or not we felt Captain Marvel was true to its marketing. Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I have issues with marketing. I think it gave away too much.
I agree.
I think some of the best scenes were in the marketing.
Yeah.
And that's something I don't have an issue with other movies. Like, there are some movies where I really liked marketing. You haven't seen the most recent Endgame trailer?
I'm actively avoiding it.
Yeah. Good, because I did watch it and I regret it. I think it shows too much.
Like, I've heard from people, I don't actually think it shows too much. I'm like, yeah, I know you don't think so, but I'm still I think I'm just gonna avoid it. Because here's the thing. Some of the best experiences I've ever had seeing a movie
is when you've seen no trailers.
Yeah, it's when I've gone in blind.
Yeah, I hadn't seen trailers for Captain Marvel until today when I realised, oh crap, I have to say whether this is true to the marketing or not. Better watch it.
Yeah.
But after watching the marketing, I was like, well, that gives away some of the funniest lines in the movie or some of the coolest shots, and it's just like gone.
Like some moments that weren't necessarily twists, but would have been nice to have not known about beforehand. Would have been great to go in and see. Yeah. Without having known they were going to be there.
And it's not like Marvel can't do advertising without giving too much away. Like, the first ad for Endgame didn't give a lot away, and I really like it, and I'm fine that I saw it.
Yeah.
But the second trailer, you're lucky you haven't seen it, because I think it gives away too much. I know things now that I don't want to know. And, like, something like Us, which is very suspenseful, you have your theory that the trailer
I have my theory.
You have a theory that the trailer gave you that I didn't pick up on when I watched the trailer. But
having watched it now, do you think it might be right?
I think it's a possibility. I don't think there's going to be the world's deepest story ever to it. It's kind of like Get Out, where, it's more horror than story. Yeah,
it's like very much a suspenseful thriller kind of thing.
But I do think the trailer did a really good job for that, for not giving too much away of whatever story there is.
Yeah, like there's a right and a wrong way to do a trailer for a
and
movie.
both Captain Marvel movies for me went too far.
Yeah. So like like I feel like they weren't as bad as some trailers, you know, Aquaman.
Yeah.
Which is basically the film.
The worst part about that is you can't avoid a trailer when you go to cinema.
Yeah, and like it sucks.
You've
because
seen
you
me
see
try to avoid
else.
Star Wars trailers.
Yeah.
Like shoving my fingers in my ears. Like, no, do not make me do this. And then I just give up because you can't. It's so loud. There's no way you're not missing it.
So I'm just going to say 10 out of 10. Captain Marvel was very true to the marketing.
True to marketing, 10 out of 10.
I just didn't like all the marketing.
I just don't like the marketing yet.
Yeah. So the very last thing we need to rate this on is individuality.
Yeah.
And do you feel like Captain Marvel was a unique individual film?
Yes and no.
Yeah, it's yes and no.
I like that other Marvel movies recently have been doing a lot of music. Like Black Panther had an entire album
the soundtrack
where they had loads of black artists come in and do songs, original songs for the movie that then got released on an album separate from the film's score.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yes, because some of them made it into film, not all of them did, because it was movies from and inspired by Black Panther. And it's just like, oh, but it was so good. And in Spider-Verse too, same thing, loads of original pop songs in it.
Yeah.
Now, Captain Marvel didn't have original pop songs, but they had so many songs from the 90s.
They did.
So many good songs. Nirvana.
I did like the soundtrack because like every now and then a song would come on and I would just get like a really nostalgic hit in my stomach because like I was born in 1996 but I still grew up listening to this song these kind of songs because they would be on like on TV.
They were
radio.
big songs. They're still popular today.
Yeah, know? And I would listen to the radio or CDs in the car with my mum.
Like 4 songs that really stand out to me that I still remember now. Because when you look through the list in the credits, it's insanely long. I even pointed out to you in some of
that was a long part of the credits.
But there's Come As You Are from Nirvana.
Yeah.
Just a Girl by No Doubt, which is a great scene, great song, just all around.
Yeah.
And Please Mr. Postman by the Marvelettes, which some of you will recognise from The Vine. It's just like lovely. It's like, yes. And then Waterfalls by TLC.
Yeah.
And Don't Go Chasing Them Waterfalls.
Yeah, that part, I really was like, this song I used to jam to, like just throw it up on YouTube. Yeah,
it's just like, so the music was so good. It's something that is being done more in non-Marvel films though, which is why I'm not giving it a lot of individuality. It's something really new to Marvel films.
Yeah.
But it's not new to films in general. I think pop songs are getting a lot bigger in films.
Because that's the thing. I don't want to rate this as an individual among Marvel films. I want to rate it as an individual
all films.
Among film.
So as a Marvel film, it would be more individual just because it's female-led, but it also has the issue of having a white protagonist with a black sidekick once again. It's something they've done quite a few times.
Like, this isn't us saying that these movies aren't good. We have noticed a pattern of the protagonist being, like, white, and then their sidekick or best friend is a person of colour. Yeah.
You've got Robert Downey Jr. with War Machine.
Yeah.
You've got, Iron Man with War Machine. You've got Captain America with... Falcon. See, he's not even a big character, so I can't remember his name.
Ant-Man, and then his best friend Louise
is Hispanic.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's the pattern, it's there.
And like even now with Carol, and then Marie is a black woman, and like...
It's an obvious pattern, and yeah, I guess you can say we're being snowflakes, and we're crying for more politically correct. We're not, it's just an obvious pattern.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, this
it doesn't ruin the movie for me.
It doesn't ruin the movie for me.
But it's
it just kind of makes me think... I mean, and, like, obviously, I feel like people are going to be like, but what about Black Panther? Like, there wasn't that problem there. I was like, yeah, it was a predominantly black-led cast with a really talented
and it was the first Marvel film to be nominated for Best Picture for a reason.
Yeah, like, learn from Black Panther, you guys.
Yeah. Like, it had such a good cast. Everyone in that was so interesting. And it was such a style you don't see so often because they brought in different African personalities that you really, don't see from white people.
And, like, they took a blend of cultures from, like, all over.
So many different African countries to make Wakanda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
like you got to really learn about cultures watching that movie, which I thought was fantastic.
It's just like... It's because that made it stand out. You don't see all those cultures usually. If you see a black person, they're a black American and they have American ideals, and that's what you see. But this is like, no, we're set in Africa with African people, and it's like, oh yes.
Yeah.
Who all have American accents half the time for some reason, but whatever. They don't all. You know. They're American actors, a lot of them, so it's what you get.
Yeah.
But for individually, I'm actually going to give it a no. It's a 5.
I feel like it hits about a 5 as well.
Yeah, because as a Marvel movie, very individual.
I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I would like to see more like it as far as, you know, trying new frontiers for film within the MCU. I would like to see more of that.
Yeah.
But not necessarily more of this specific kind of movie.
Yeah. So give us your quick math while we rated it.
Well, then let me just do the math on here.
I mean, it's going to be a pretty high score. Especially compared to our last film, which was Isn't It Romantic? I don't think that film did quite well. I think Captain Marvel's higher than that for sure.
So, I've just done my incredibly quick math there. And
Is this an episode of Countdown?
We have rated it 41 out of 50.
That's such a high score.
That's a pretty high score. Has that been our highest score so far that we've rated things?
No, I think Mythos got ridiculously high for a first book.
Oh, you know what? Mythos probably did get really high.
And I regret that, but whatever. It's there. It's stuck. It's what we gave it.
It's there forever.
Mythos is going to be the best reviewed thing we've ever done now. Nothing will come close. But yeah, no, it's our highest movie.
I think our sound quality has improved since Mythos.
Everything has improved since Mythos.
That's true.
But yeah, no, so 41 out of 10.
41 out of 50. I think that's
that's an A.
Overall, that's really good. That's an A.
You've passed your leaving cert. You're going to whatever college you want.
You know, thanks, Captain Marvel. You done good. You've impressed 2 Irish people chilling out at home.
Yeah. One day it'll be a badge of honor, I swear.
Oh yeah, no, one day, don't worry. They're like, oh, we impressed those 2 nobodies? I'm so happy.
Yeah. So thank you for listening to our thoughts on Captain Marvel. We would love to hear your thoughts on them too. I know I talked to my friend Stephen and got some of his thoughts before recording, and I would love to hear from more of our actual fans. We see you listen to us. I'd actually like to announce we've reached over 100 listens on our podcast in the first month. We
love getting feedback from you guys, and we love knowing you're out there listening, and you can reach us on Instagram and Twitter. There are ways for you to be like, hey, can you review this book, this movie? Can you bring up this topic about something you've already covered? Just like a quick thing that you want to tweet about.
Yeah, you can tweet us or find us on Instagram at Adam and Kat. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Our next movie is going to be Us and then Endgame.
We're very excited for this.
So obviously we recommend you see them before listening to the podcast because we go into spoilers. So see them. Once you've seen them, tell us your thoughts. We'll make sure to see them as early as possible so that you're not spoiling it on us.
Yeah.
But tell us your thoughts. We will shout you out in the podcast. We will talk about your ideas. We will give you credit, of course. We want your opinions. We don't want it to just be our opinions and our thoughts. We want to factor in other people's thoughts because there are so many different viewpoints out there.
Yeah, I know you're coming here to listen to us talk about what we think, but we want to know what you think because it's not just us blindly talking about what we love and hate about movies and books. We want it to be a discussion and an open dialogue about all these things we could have different opinions on and get a different point of view.
I don't want to get into a big spiel here, but I think that's the biggest problem with movie reviews. You see a movie review and it's one person.
Yeah.
What if loads of people have an idea? And that's why I think places like Rotten Tomatoes are getting a lot more popular.
Yeah.
You get more thought, you get more input, you get an overall from loads of different people. You're not just like, okay, well, the New York Times gave it a 5 out of 5, so it's great. It's like, well, actually, it's getting a 3.5 because other people had these thoughts and oh, these are interesting ideas. Yeah, so I'm not going to watch it because I disagree with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for listening. We will see you next week for an episode of Psychus.
We've been Adam and Kath.
And thank you for listening.